Hello, hello, beautifuls. This is your magic, love, and money reading for September. So I'm going to get the cards ready as you guys are coming in, and it's pretty hot around here. Yeah, and let me know where you are watching from. Hopefully this is broadcasting where it's supposed to be broadcasting. I have a feeling it's not. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. If you're in here yet, say hello. Okay, looks like, okay, I see Colleen is on. All right, so I'm on Facebook. Let me see if I'm in the Pleasure Queen Collective too. I was supposed to be in 3 different places and YouTube. Let's see if I'm live here as well. Just doing my little checks. I am not live in this other area, so that's too bad. Okay, let me see if I'm live on YouTube. I might need to start this over. So thank you for bearing with me. It's Mercury retrograde today, the first day. So, okay, it looks like I am live on YouTube. Okay. So for some reason, I'm not live in the other group, but that's okay. See, we can live with that. All right. So close this. Suzanne, thank you. Okay. Colleen, you said you can't hear me. Yeah, let me know if the sound is back. Hopefully. Let me check the sound settings just in case. I might be kind of, let's see here, sound. Input volume is higher. How about that? Maybe I should try this one. How's this? Let's see. Let's pull this one up. So this should be louder. Let me know in the comments if you can, if that has improved the sound. How's that? Can you guys hear me? And is it loud enough? Does it sound clear? I'm hoping it does. So we have full moon tomorrow in Pisces. And, you know, Pisces is the 12th house of the zodiac. So it rules endings, self-undoing. So we're going to feel a lot of magic. It's, you know, it's also the highest octave of love, of unconditional love. So there's it's magical, it's psychic, it's also a good full moon to end things and end old patterns, old ways of being. We also, hey Christina, we also have Mercury going into retrograde for today. And it's going retrograde in the sign of Libra. It's an air sign, and Libra is all about relationships. So we are, you know, people from our past might be coming back, or scenarios from our past patterns that we've had in relationships. So it's a good time to keep your antenna up. I know mine is, because relationships and codependency and a lot of other stuff going on with me and maybe with you that I'm working on. So I'm really aware of these things. But, Libra represents intimate partnerships, love, marriage, dating, and it also represents business partnerships and contracts, right? So with Mercury in retrograde here, we're definitely going to have some ghosts from the past, perhaps, and it's a good time to bring resolution, to put an end to, whatever is not serving you in the realm of relationships. And again, that is both intimate partnerships and business. So we're going to do magic first. So the reason why we are doing these readings is to shift our energy, because this is a time of immense change, as I'm sure you all know. And there's a lot happening. And literally since I started this, like, I've had all these sirens going by. So I'm going to use the Lemurian deck and also Oracle of the Mermaids in honor of Pisces. This is, a time of immense shifts and change. And, a couple of friends have told me that despite all of the craziness, it's important to stay present. And I agree. So you all know who you are who said that to me. So giving you credit. Thank you for really great advice. So we're going to use the Oracle cards, the Mermaid Oracle cards, the Lemurian Oracle cards, and also the Art Nouveau, the golden or gilded Art Nouveau tarot deck. So aside from Mercury in retrograde, we have 6 other planets in retrograde and Chiron is in retrograde. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So there's a lot going on. Chiron is in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So interesting, right? We have that kind of contrast, the last and the first. So we know that there are new beginnings just around the corner for us. And the healing, I think, the Aries Libra axis is independence versus relationship. So we are really healing those two aspects of our lives, right? The part of us that I don't need anybody, I'm great on my own, I can do my thing, and then the other part of us that, I want to be in relationship, I want to collaborate, I want to be in groups. But you don't want the group or the collaboration or the partner to take over, right? You have to have your own power, you have to stand in your power, which has been a great lesson for me. So we're going to pull cards on magic first, then we're going to do love, and then we're going to do money. So for magic, pull first from beautiful Oracle of the Mermaids and see what message they have for us. I feel like it's this one. We got 2. Okay. We have dreams. Beautiful card. So you're going to have dreams and visions. So you'll have waking dreams, visions during the daytime, and also at night. It makes sense because Pisces, it rules the unconscious. It rules the dream time. And there's some dream medicine happening. So, again, we're going to pull more cards on each of these. The second one, this is beautiful. It says vulnerability, and it's a merman holding a woman. This is all about opening your heart. So a lot of times when we've been hurt in relationships or family, we can close our hearts off. So this is the mermaids reminding us to keep our hearts open even when we're afraid to, even when we've been wounded. So this is where the magic is. The magic is in the dreams and in opening your heart and being vulnerable. And there's a lot of strength in vulnerability. It's, it's not weakness to be vulnerable. Okay, so from the Lemurian deck, we have surrender. Boy, if that isn't a Piscean card, I don't know what is. That's beautiful. Surrender to the transformation. There's so much change happening, and it's hard not to try to fight the change, fight what's happening. And I kind of think that these really feel like they have some similar energy. The vulnerability card, I feel like this is, even though we're in the magic section of the reading, I feel like this is also saying something about our relationships. But also, the vulnerability of allow the tides to carry you. Maybe, you're in a state where you cannot swim right now. You're really healing. Look at this woman, her eyes are closed. Really, if you look at all of these cards, the woman in the card, her eyes are closed, going within, allowing the stream, the tide to move you and to flow you where you need to go. That's, I feel like, part of this message too. This is like the anti-control time, right? Okay. So I'm going to pull some tarot on the card, the dream card. Please give us more details. Calling in spirit. We got 3 cards. The Knight of Wands, the 10 of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. These are fire cards. So the story that I'm seeing for this dream card is it's time to go boldly, move boldly towards your dreams. And it's interesting because Mars goes into retrograde in Gemini, the sign of Gemini, coming up, in October. But last Saturday, Mars went into shadow. So we're already feeling the effects. And sometimes what will happen, because Mars is fire. So when Mars is in retrograde, it might feel more like a water planet as opposed to a fire planet. You might be a little bit lazy or, kick back a little too much. So there is this almost like contradictory information here. But I think what it's saying is, be bold and keep moving forward. However the tide is moving you, apply energy in that direction, right? Because we can shift our energy. We don't have to just, sit around and do nothing. Just because the tide is taking us somewhere doesn't mean we sit around and do nothing, right? It means that we are allowing spirit to direct us. We are allowing the divine to move us. But we still have to apply energy, right? We just don't lay there like, totally limp. And the 10 of Cups, this is a very, again, a very Piscean, optimistic, watery, emotional card of happiness, happy home, abundance in all areas of your life. So we have these dreams, and it's saying, if you want that 10 of Cups, dream boldly, apply energy. So that does not mean forcing things, right? So here's the next card, the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is about competition, fighting, rivalries. Um, I also feel like this is distractions. How are you dealing with distractions? I'm going to pull another card on this Five of Wands and get more information. The Four of Swords. This is about rest, recuperation, meditation, and prayer, visualizing, working on your manifestations in a very, again, passive, dreamy way. So I feel like this number 5 is Five of Wands saying, don't fight the tide. If the tide is pulling you in one direction, you want to go in the other, go the direction of the tide and apply your energy there. And this energy is very inner. But again, that doesn't mean that it's like a floppy blah, you know what I mean? Like the jellyfish, we were talking about vulnerability earlier. It's like its body is completely useless on land. It needs to be in the water to move and to breathe, right? So your dreams would be the water element, and your meditation, your visualizing, all of that realm of the imagination, the Neptunian part of you, which Neptune is in Pisces. There is a lot of, illusion and dreaminess, but don't fight the tide. Don't fight against it. Don't try to swim upstream. Okay. The magic is in surrender as we get. So we're going to get to that card in a minute. So vulnerability. Actually, I'm going to save this magic vulnerability to be part of the love part of the reading, which is coming next. Surfing these refreshing tides. Ooh, I like that. Beautiful. Okay, surrender. So Spirit, please give us more details about the surrender card. We got the Tower and the Queen of Cups. The Tower is a change that you have no control over. It just happens. And we can look at it as happening to us or happening for us. And we see this a lot in our lives right now. Like the Tower, I would say the Tower for the majority of people is not necessarily a change they want or a happy change, but it is in their favor. So surrendering to the change, and again, that heart opening. Look at the card. She's just like, you know what I mean? So her chest is open, her heart is open, and she's almost like doing this back dive into this Vesica piscis. Look at that. The two circles intertwined with the mandorla. So the mandorla represents the opening of the womb, where the third is birthed. So this is masculine and feminine energy. I feel like this is a lot about relationships and also, we'll talk about money last, but it'll be interesting to see, what cards come up for money. Queen of Cups next to the Tower. Queen of Cups is very intuitive, very psychic, very creative. She also looks like Queen Elizabeth, and Queen Elizabeth passed yesterday. I don't know when her birthday is, but she might have a lot of Pisces in her chart. My mom was a Pisces, and she passed during a Pisces new moon eclipse, I think, or right around that time in 2017. I feel like, again, she's a very nurturing, loving energy. And she seems to be like, if we look at her face and how her hand is on the cup, it's like that is the cup of love, the cup of magic, right? That she's holding. And she's just looking at you like, so are you going to come join me and take the cup? Are you going to partake of the magic? I feel like she represents an invitation of some kind for us. So even when it looks like everything's falling apart, look for the invitation, read between the lines. Don't get caught up in the 3D fucking shit show going on. And that could be personally and it could also be collectively in the world. I feel like it's going to be both. Know that you're being received. Know that the more, again, you occupy your energy, right? Fully, empowering yourself through meditation, through your practices, through um, good nutrition, good exercise, all of those things are going to help you stay in your magic. I mean, I'm doing these readings starting with magic because we are magical people. That's who we are, right? That's, who I am. And we are all mirrors of each other. We're all little holographic images of each other. And the magic, again, is coming from surrendering to the tide, the direction of the tide, and not fighting against things, but rather allowing it to carry you with applied spiritual force. So that spiritual force looks maybe weak or looks, it doesn't look like what the patriarchy will tell us force is, right? So how this message will play out for each of us is going to be different. So I'm going to pull another card on this Tower, Queen of Cups story and see what other energies are coming in here. Two of Swords, yeah. Having those moments of feeling like you don't know which direction to go or feeling like you're a bit lost. Caught between two worlds is what I'm hearing. So yeah, I mean, when you're feeling caught between the collective and the shit show and your own like sense of magic, always go back to the magic. Because it's whatever's going on out here feels real to us, but what's going on inside you is the reality. And you want to keep cultivating that reality, even though you're in this space of your eyes are closed, you're shut down, you're sleeping. It's like there's a side of you that has to be put to sleep, like Sleeping Beauty, right? That just popped up to me right now. Sleeping Beauty is actually a very powerful archetype for this time. She goes into the death-like sleep, and then the rest of the kingdom all goes to sleep, remember? And then, it's the prince and the fairies that go after Maleficent. And Maleficent's one of my favorite characters. Even before the Disney remake with Angelina Jolie, Maleficent was one of my favorite characters. Maleficent represents, she's definitely a shadow energy, and she's a very important teacher, a very important medicine too for this time. she curses Aurora, right? She curses her, so she goes into a death-like sleep, but she doesn't kill her. So how evil is she really, right? She's also the dragon. The dragon represents mother. You know, the dragon's also Kundalini energy. So the patriarchy is going to try to convince us to kill the dragon. Ooh, the other, the enemy. So remember that when we go into the 5D and above, it's not about their karma. Oh, these people are bad. We have to remember it's our karma. There is no separation. Once you get into 5D, there is no separation. So how do you want to shift our karma? So that's the message for this magical time. So what happens in the story of Sleeping Beauty? The prince comes and literally he puts his lips on her. So what is that about? It's like almost like he's breathing. No, because kissing is more like it's almost like a sucking mechanism. So he almost breathes her back to life. Like she puts her breath into him. You know, there's definitely an exchange between masculine and feminine in that archetypal moment of the kiss, right? But once she is kissed, she's awakened. So what you're waiting for is surrendering, sleeping, dreaming with purpose, with your full essence, spiritual essence intact until you get the awakening kiss. All right. So that is our magic reading. So we're going to go into the love reading. And we already have this beautiful card, vulnerability. It's also part of our magic, but I feel like love is also flowing into that. Okay. Hey, Gail. Maleficent is great. You named her Maleficent Aurora. Yes, Maleficent is very misunderstood. Yeah, Maleficent and Aurora are almost, you know, kind of identical. Like even if you look at their features in like the original Disney cartoon, you know, Maleficent has that very long face. And if you look at Aurora, she's got a very long face too. It's like Maleficent represents the dark goddess and Aurora represents the sun goddess, the light goddess. Okay, we're going to pull multiple cards for the love reading. Look at this. Water flight. Something about weightlessness, gravity. Again, water flight. So interesting. Burdens cast away, heaviness lifts. With that vulnerability card. Really interesting. And whales do represent the Akashic records. They represent that, the energy of the ancients, the energy of the records from the past lives, past eons. So yeah, what we're dealing with is very old, ancient karma. Okay, so for the love reading, I'm also going to use the Lover's Path Tarot. These are really beautiful. Do some shuffling here. Hi, Helen. Welcome. Oops. Little slippery little suckers. I haven't used these cards in a while. I think I gave them to Seraphina and then I kind of found them in the bottom of her drawer. She never really used them, and I was like, okay, I think I need these back, or you need to, need to share these. Okay, so tell us about the love story happening in September through the beginning of October. What is the love story? What is the love story? Balance. This is Venus and Vulcan. Look at that. Beautiful. Masculine and feminine in a dance. Water and fire. Okay. Tell us more about the story, this love story. What do we need to know about love relationships? What is the love story? Ooh, the Eight of Arrows. Okay, pick one more card. Oh, the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, called the Prince of Staves, we got that in the magic reading. So there's definitely this overlap between love and magic. I'm not surprised. We also have this one on the bottom, Innocence. Tamino and Tamina. Okay. So there's a new beginning coming. And I feel like these two cards together. So the magic reading, remember, all the women had their eyes closed on the cards. And this is this feels like a very Sleeping Beauty sort of card, right? Interesting that I brought up the Sleeping Beauty story. But this woman, her eyes are open and she's looking up. So they're in love. There is forward movement. There is this movement from the depths going up to the surface. So we're moving towards the light. We're moving from the dark towards the light with this new beginning. And I feel like it starts with this heart opening. It starts with us coming into balance with our masculine and feminine energies. So I wanted to tell you guys, I'm starting this beautiful 6-month membership to just get us through the next 6 months. And it's called the Pleasure Pod. And there's going to be two versions. There's kind of the Pleasure Pod Light membership, which is I just do a reading every Monday with the astrology forecast and some mermaid channeling for the week. So you'll get that every week. And then there's going to be a Facebook community where we can talk about, our relationships. We can talk about our businesses and just be, there to support each other. So that's going to start October, go through March of next year. And then there's the Pleasure Pod, more for people that really want to dive in and learn how to access their own Akashic records, to learn how to read cards and to do divination, to balance their chakras, to put shields up, protective shields up, how to work with essential oils and magic, all kinds of rituals and different classes. So I'm going to do those on Tuesdays. So there's going to be another part of the membership for people that really want to work their magic. And a big part of that magic is always going to be integrating the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So that's what's going on right now. Within each of us, there's balance happening. There's healing between the inner feminine and masculine. So as above, so below, as within, so without. So the relationships that are coming into our lives are more balanced, right? They're more, it's more about a collaboration. It's more about creating together. I love this card. So the story behind this card is Venus very much represents the primal force, the primal life force of the divine feminine. which cannot be contained and can't be domesticated. But what happens? Zeus, the father of Vulcan, this guy, wants to domesticate her because everybody's afraid of Venus. It's like people are afraid of pleasure. People are afraid of sex. Not everybody. I'm not talking, you know what I mean. But, in our patriarchal society, women need to be controlled. We're powerful. So what happens is, you know, Zeus says, well, I'm going to make you marry my son, who's, not really her type. He's like the blacksmith guy that sits around a fire making lightning bolt arrows and weaponry. And so, of course, she's like, whatever, I'll marry the guy. You're the boss. But then, when he's not looking, she goes and has affairs with Adonis, these hot, demigods on earth and mortals. And she has a hot affair with the god Mars, Ares, the god of war. Um, so was she able to be domesticated? No. But she's very subversive about it. Um, anyways, when they work together, the masculine and the feminine, neither one has to dominate or domesticate the other, because we don't want the masculine domesticated either, because then, we get this Eight of Arrows. So Eight of Arrows is an interesting card. So in our love story today, we have this balance, this healing happening between the masculine and feminine, within and without, right? Within us and in our real relationships. We have, Mercury in retrograde in Libra helping us do this work, review, reassess, realign, everything starting with RE. We're rewriting the story. And before in love, we were trapped in some patterns of fear, sadness, grief, locked in mentally. Not sure what direction to go. What do I do? This doesn't feel right. This isn't right. There's something toxic, right? And then we get this gentleman, this character, who is all about steamy, lusty, passionate relationships. Really good sex, a lot of life force, very bold. Remember, charging forward boldly. I feel like this is the new energy coming into our relationship, is this very, like a life force, kundalini activation coming in and moving us forward. So I'm going to use this deck now to get the rest of the details. So we're going to pull some, let's see what Spirit has to say about this Venus and Vulcan balance card. What do we need to know? An offer from the devil. Look at that. Oh boy. I feel a little bit like what this is saying is that there's an offer, or I would say this represents an immature offer. This is like a young boy. It has potential. It's an offer that has potential, but it's a bit immature, especially with that devil there. Devil has to do with, drugs, alcohol, getting high, being somewhat unconscious. So I feel like that's what we're healing. So this new beginning, this innocent new beginning, comes with an offer. Maybe it's a communication. Maybe someone reaches out to you. Unfortunately, they might be the devil. So let me pull some cards on the devil here. Who is the devil? What is this about? The devil also represents the sign of Capricorn. And the Page of Pentacles next to him is also, so this could be about, you know, the healing that you've done around toxic relationships or a toxic relationship is coming into physical reality. So the what I'm sensing is the healing is nearly complete. I feel like some cards want to pop up, but they're not quite coming. We're already 40 minutes in. I only have an hour. Okay. Yeah, 10 of Wands, the end of a cycle, the end of a very difficult period of life, difficult relationship. There's that 5 of Wands again. So conflict, fighting, competition. And then we have another love offer that's immature. This is the Page of Cups. This is a message coming in. Again, communication, the beginning of something new and innocent and beautiful, which is going to lead to your 10 of Cups. Interesting storyline. I think it's saying as you're healing this toxic energy out of your body, out of your aura from this past relationship, that it's almost like you'll stop fighting for it. Stop fighting against it. It's again that surrender energy. Just let it be. Like have some acceptance around it. I feel like it's not just, you might think that you're letting go of something, but there's still something within you maybe fighting to keep it, or fighting, you know, part of your consciousness is like, this is like a complete ego death for me to release this relationship, to release this toxicity, because it's something that you've had for a long time, and not just this relationship, but it's an ancestral family pattern, right? We've got that. Remember, we have this releasing card with the whales, the Akashic records, the ancients. We are releasing ancient karma. We're releasing ancient patterns and ways of being, so we can lighten up and receive this beautiful love offer. There's a new love offer coming in that's going to bring you so much happiness and abundance, material abundance and emotional abundance. Okay, for the 8 of Arrows card, let's see. How are you guys doing? Hi, Helen. I don't know if I said hi to you. Kind of interesting storylines happening here. Okay, 8 of Arrows. Another 5. Ooh, and the Lover's card. And the Queen of Swords. Okay. Again, fighting. But I feel like the 8 of Arrows, what's happening here, this sadness, this feeling stuck in sadness, is about, yes, you won, but it doesn't feel like a happy victory. That's what this is saying. It feels sad. It feels, yeah, I won, but I feel like I lost something. So that's what the part of this conflict, this inner conflict is that's going on in the love department for some people. It's like, I won, but you had to lose a part of your ego, let someone go. Whatever it is, it was very painful. Then you get the Lover's card. The Lover's card is also the card of Gemini, and I think this is interesting because the Queen of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, woman, or feminine energy. It could be, gender. There's not a gender specific here. I feel like an important decision was made in your love relationship. And I feel like, she's kind of the more off with his head kind of a queen, you know what I mean? So I think that's why it feels like you had to cutting out this person was like cutting out a piece of your heart. Boy, I know what that feels like recently. So now, for those of you that are married and coupled and this doesn't apply, this could also be a friend or a close colleague too, or a family member. So either you're watching them go through this, or instead of a love relationship, this could be about a toxic friendship, a toxic colleague at work, a toxic family member as well. So you can apply it to either one of those, because love, this is all about matters of the heart. And that includes all our relationships, close relationships. Okay, on this Prince of Wands, this lusty, bold, okay, wow. The Nine of Swords and the Empress. So I feel like this kind of, that Queen of Swords, that aspect of us that is less emotional, just like, okay, we're going to cut out my heart. If this heart is toxic and just attracting toxic stuff, I'm cutting out my own heart, right? And, it created a lot of anxiety. It created a lot of sadness, worry, fear. Like, will I ever find my heart again? How can I get it back? Where is my heart? What, it's all about refinding your heart. But, right now, we could be on our heads about something. But then we get to the Empress. So I feel like this is all, again, about this upgrade, this flight, this water flight. We are lightening our load. We are rebirthing. This for some, this could be actual pregnancy, or someone in your family becoming pregnant, someone becoming a mom, having a baby. This is very much a pregnancy mother card, but also one of, the birthing of new businesses, the birthing of new ideas and new creative projects. Again, it's about the Queen of Swords moves to this Empress. It's a move up. It's ascending, right? The Empress energy is represented by the 8th chakra. So it's above the crown chakra. She is a very earthly Venus. This is all about manifesting a new relationship, but from that place of maturity. And, the Empress is not going to put up with the prince. She may not even put up with a king. She wants the emperor, the ultimate divine masculine. She won't settle. So I feel like this is all about being receptive. Again, not fighting the tide, not, fighting relationships that are dissolving, or things in your life, or people in your life that are leaving your life. Don't fight it. Be the Empress. Be that ultimate receiver. That's how you manifest. And this is for men too. Again, this is not about gender. This is about energy. card wants to come out. Six of Swords. So moving away from difficult circumstances. It could mean someone actually coming to you from far away. So if you've been wondering, where is my love? Where is my person? It could be that they are at a distance. I only have 10 minutes now for the money section, so I'm going to try to wrap this story up here. Okay, anything else we need to know on this Prince of Staves card? Now, the Prince of Staves also, it's interesting because we're Mercury retrograde and coming in, and we're in Mars retrograde shadow. It could represent a man or a woman, a lover coming back from the past, to tie up loose ends. And that could be what's causing this anxiety, this fear, this sadness. But I feel like it's the final closing of a chapter. And sometimes there needs to be, before the end can happen, that last meeting, that last looking to that person's eyes and being like, goodbye, which could be very, again, like, maybe you've been healing, you've been doing all this work on your heart, and it just fucking rips it out again. So, and this again could be happening in your dreams. We have a lot of dream energy, but also illusion. So again, just know that you are moving upwards and onwards. And like, oh, beautiful, the Star. So the last card for our relationship is the Star. I love this. We're going from the Nine of Swords, the anxiety, the fear, to the Empress. You have surrendered. You are open. You're ready to receive. You're vulnerable. And from a distance, the new love comes. And there's the Star. Wishes coming true. Truly being healed too. I love this. So this love, this new love that's coming in, don't jump to conclusions and rush, because there could be other past loves coming in. And sometimes the past love will come in a different character or a different costume, right? And then you start dating this person or getting to know them, or you're talking to them at work, you go, oh my gosh, this is my father energy all over again that I've been working on, or this is my ex-husband or my ex-boyfriend just in another guise. So just, again, keep your antenna up for these past scenarios to come back and try to kind of seduce us into a toxic repatterning. But water flight, you are triumphant. You're going to win this fight. You are moving forward. You're moving up no matter what. So, okay, money. The money, honey, show me the money. Let me shake out these cards, get new energy in here. This is going to be a quick one because I have to jump off at 10:30 because I have work to do. My other work. And yeah, please come check out the Pleasure Pod. It's going to be so cool. I think there are links on this below in the description of this video, of this broadcast. Let me know if you have questions. I already had the Facebook group ready, and even though we don't really do the official kickoff till October 3rd, which is next month, I'm going to start with just some live little, one card readings for people, and we'll start meditating together, start moving our energy out to send some healing out to the world. We're in a place where we really need to be doing that. So if you join early, we will have lots of playtime together before we begin in October. So I'm kind of going back to my mermaid roots, see, the pleasure pod. I feel like this is kind of that way of the flow that we really need to be in. And then really once March and April of next year roll around, we're going to be in this new place, this new paradigm, and from there really bringing to earth that which we need to be manifesting. Okay, money. Things are changing really quickly. Holy cow. Okay. Okay, we're going to pull a Mermaid Oracle card. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for being here. And you're welcome, Gail. All right. In our money reading, endurance, keep going. Look at these mermaids. Keep swimming. It's not a time to sink. It's not a time to give up. It's time to keep going. Endurance, stamina. So this is also about, this isn't a race to the finish line. This is all about, again, swimming with the tide. They're not swimming against the tide. They're not, even the fish, everybody's swimming in the same direction. So the first card we got about our finances and money is the death card. No big surprise. We're seeing the death of, a paradigm, banking, everything in the market is just, it's going down. Everything's headed downward. So this card is another card of surrender. Like you're watching this happening and a part of you might be like, oh my God, how do I stop this from happening? What do I do? What do I do? And this is the thing. There are very powerful forces that we cannot see. Who are the people? Who are the institutions? What are the forces that are coming together to create the demise of our financial systems? And really the financial systems are effed up anyways, like so many other systems in our world. Things are crumbling down. So this is a time where we need to have hope. I think this is interesting. Next to the death card, we have the card of victory. And we have that endurance card, keep going. 6 of Wands is the card of the hero returning home with the boon. What is it that you're returning home with? What part of you, this hero, this shiro, this archetypal victor? We're going to pull, yeah, oh my gosh. I might have to go 5 minutes over. Then the card set is the 8 of Wands. So again, this is about fast movement. Things are going to progress quickly in this market. And we have the King of Cups, interesting. So the King of Cups has mastered his emotions. So obviously when it comes to money, you want to be a little more rational and also to take your cues from your psychic intuitive place. Because this card, is what's breeding all this fear around money and the markets crashing and, cryptocurrency crashing. Everything looks so dire, and yet we are victorious. Things are progressing quickly in a good direction, and we are being called to be steady with our emotions, master our emotions, and follow your heart, but not in, I would say, not in a passionate way. Or, if you're following your heart in a passionate way, that there's still this part of you that knows that there are other forces at play, like not trying to control things. So instead, you're controlling your emotions, you're controlling your reactions. So that way you are making decisions, you're taking action based on how spirit is directing you and how your heart is directing you. And the end card is this Five of Swords again. This guy keeps wanting to come up. This is about winning with a cost. Okay, I'm going to pull more cards on this guy because that's fascinating. So somebody's winning here. Look at this, Queen of Cups again. And she is the counterpart to the King of Cups. So the two of them showing up in a reading is a good sign. So maybe, oof, a bunch of stuff that wants to come out there. And then the Six of Pentacles, balance, give and take. We have a giant block here. Woof. There's a lot happening in the money. Seven of Swords, sneaky, deceptive behavior. Or also unconventional ways of thinking, unconventional means. The World card, completion, rebirth. The cycle is ending. The Hermit card, being quiet and still, spending time alone, so that way you can follow your intuition, you can hear it, you know what I mean? You're really listening to what your intuition is telling you. Three of Swords, heartbreak, loss. Sun, restoration. So after that loss, after that time of grieving, of pain, happiness, health, and clarity returns. And then we have our Queen of Swords again. Pull one more card from the Mermaid deck for money. I'm almost not even sure how to interpret this yet. And, it's like I said, I'm out of time, so I can't spend a ton of time here. But I feel like I'm going to spend a little more time here. Sanctuary, privacy, personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. Interesting. I love this mermaid. She's like kind of like, I call her the Starbucks mermaid. She's called a Melusina, a two-tailed mermaid. So whatever is ending in our financial world, I feel like the victory is in balance. Victory is in fairness. Things become more fair, which is interesting. It makes sense with what's going on. So some people might lose a lot of money and some people might gain money. And this could also be happening in your own thing. You might lose a huge chunk somewhere, but gain a lot through something else, right? So things are going to balance out financially. Christina, this feels like it was all a personal reading for you. Yeah. Um, so I'm just going to tell you right now, the thief in the night, you know, somehow, somewhere, there's money stolen, there's something stolen, something taken. And I feel like you come to peace with that. You feel like, okay, easy come, easy go. And then boom, things right themselves. And really, it's all about staying true to your heart, listening to your intuition. Not getting over emotional about money, or about assets or property, and being like almost, this is, as far as all the queens in the deck, she is the least emotional, the least squishy. You know what I mean? She is like the queen of, I'm going to cut off your head. She has great boundaries. She enforces them with that sword. She's got it right there. She's like, yeah, you want to fuck with me? Look what I got right here. She is very intellectual, very savvy, makes really good decisions. So I feel like at the end of the day, the decisions you make are going to be powerful and accurate. There's no way to fool this woman. She's no dummy. This person cannot be fooled. So keep your eyes open. Have that endurance. Keep going. Hold your boundaries. Hold your boundaries. So that's a money reading. Interesting story there. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And if you want more readings, weekly readings, come and join me in the Pleasure Pod. The Pleasure Pod Light includes a Monday reading for basically for the general energies, career and love. They're a little bit shorter than this. And then I also do a channeling, and then we'll do some energetic work to shift energy. So that is $22 a month for that version. If you want the classes on, how to read your Akashic records, how to do divination, how to do Kundalini activation, you could ask me anything about marketing, branding, and business development, grounding the 5D into the 3D, bringing heaven to earth, working with deities and archetypal energies. I'm going to show you how to do tapping, how to do channeling. We're going to do shadow work, how to clear money karma, also how to work with the angels for healing and protection, balancing masculine and feminine energies in love relationships, manifestation principles, essential oils and magic. I'm going to also teach you sacred cacao practice. So I have, Tuesdays for the next 6 months, starting in October, we're going to do classes on all of those different things. Sex magic, it's going to be amazing. So that particular one, includes the Monday readings and the Tuesday Zoom classes and community. Like, we're going to have breakout sessions. Everybody can get to know each other, like in small groups. So that one is $66 a month. So you could pick either one, and all of you will be together in one Facebook group, so we can, share about our relationships, share about our businesses, tell people what we're launching, what we're working on, and of course I'll be there to give all kinds of advice and support. So that's what's going on. So that starts October. It actually starts now. People can sign up now, and I'll be just going into the Facebook group and offering different meditations, and also doing just little one-off little card readings for everybody in there. So that should be fun. We'll get started in September with whoever comes in early, and then we go till March 2023. So we'll have 6 months together. So I think it'll really help. I know it's going to help me focus more on what I want to be doing over the next 6 months, which is for me really writing my books. And you know, this is going to be a great time with all these retrogrades, especially Mars in retrograde, to really tie up loose ends. Not the time to launch big things into the world, but to really do the planning, to do tests on it, to do the beta version, right, of whatever it is that you're dreaming about creating. And we can really shift energy in the collective consciousness as well through our work, our magical work together, you know, by occupying our energy and really taking up space to be our full authentic selves, to communicate, to be there as a model for all of these other people that may have no clue how to do it, right? And so we're here to show them, to be models, because it's not about trying to save the world. We can't save anybody. We can't change anybody. But the more we heal and change ourselves and then show up in that essence, other people will learn from that. All righty. Let's see here. Christine, you got your swords up. You're welcome. Love you, Gail. Oh, thank you, Colleen. I'm glad that it was powerful for you. Yeah, that was kind of a long one. So thanks for hanging in there, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.